What's up everyone, we're going to be going through the best NFL player props on Prizepicks today. Now I did want to show you the results from yesterday's picks from my exclusive Discord group, and as you guys see, we actually got 20 picks correct, which was absolutely insane. So we're on a huge hot streak, but if you want to get 20 picks right like me, win more bets and receive the best picks from some of the best bettors in the world for less than a cup of coffee, you can access the exclusive Discord and meet some of the best sport bettors in the game by joining my Patreon, which will be linked down below in the description. Once you join, you'll have complete access to the Discord and can start winning more bets today. So make sure to join my Patreon using the link in the description. And here's one of our members who just signed up and won himself $1,375 just yesterday. Another member who won $430 for the 5th day in a row since joining my Discord. So guys, if you want to win big money like our members, the link will be in the description. So go join the Patreon to have access to the Discord group. And I will be continuing to upload every single day on this channel the best bets and props. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss my daily uploads. So quick shout out to Baxter Chapman who said let's go. So shouts out to him, and if you do want to win a shout out in the next video, all you have to do is comment down below in this video and like it, and you can be in the running to win a shout out in the next one. Alright, so let's get straight into the first pick. And when it comes to these picks, I'm not saying to chuck all of them into a parlay and hope for the best. Pick and choose the ones that you like and the ones that work best for you. So the first pick we're going to talk about is none other than Bijan Robinson, and this one is for 31.5 receiving yards, and this one actually is for more. Now, looking at Bijan, we actually have seen him go on the over in 3 out of the last 5 games. Now, looking at those 5 games, we see on January 6th, actually, had himself a very good matchup and actually had 3 receiving yards, however, against none other than Carolina Panthers. Then, September 8th, faced off against Tampa Bay, actually had 100 receiving yards in that matchup. Moving on from that, faced off against Minnesota on September 15th and actually saw himself have 25 receiving yards there. Had 39 receiving yards against Carolina in the new season on September 22nd, and then September 29th faced off against Washington and had 106 or 106 receiving yards there. So it's definitely been a very interesting time for Bijan, as we have seen him do very well. Now, looking at those 5 games, we do know that 4 out of those 5 games are actually, from this season, while one of them is from last season. So, that most recent, first game is definitely one to kind of just take with a grain of salt, because it is a new season and it is definitely going to be very different. But as we all know, when we look at this matchup, we do know that Atlanta Falcons have themselves a very good matchup against none other than Buffalo Bills. Now, it is definitely going to be an exciting game between both of these teams. But looking at where both of these teams do rank, starting off with the Falcons, we have seen Falcons struggle just a little bit because they currently find themselves 3rd in the NFC South. So they actually have a record of 2 wins, 2 losses. That's a 50% win percentage. And on top of that, they are 1-1 from home, 1-1 from away, and are currently on a 1-game win streak. So very interesting to see there. Now, obviously, coming into this matchup, we also do know that when it comes to the Falcons, they face off against the Bills, where Bills do find themselves number 1 in the AFC East. So they've actually done a fantastic job there. Not only have they ranked, actually first in the AFC East, but they also have a record over the last, couple of games, as there has only been 5 games so far for Bills. They've actually won 4 out of the 5 games and have only lost 1. Now, they have an 80% win percentage there. They also have a 1-game losing streak. But we do very much like the over, as we've mentioned, for someone like Bijan coming into this matchup. Now, looking at this matchup, we do also know when it comes to Atlanta, we actually have seen them do a fantastic job when it comes to, accruing actually receiving yards. They actually rank very high when it comes to total receiving yards as a whole team. We do see them rank in the top 10, and we definitely still see that being enough to see someone like them go on the over in this one. Now, when we look at Buffalo Bills, we also do know that defensively they actually do a pretty poor job at, restricting receiving yards. So we are expecting someone like Bijan to be able to take advantage of this and go on the over there. So for that reason, I definitely would keep an eye out for someone like Bijan coming into this matchup, as Falcons do rank very good when it comes to actually, accruing those receiving yards for sure. So Bijan Robinson, 31.5 receiving yards for more. I think think is a fantastic pick. So getting into the next pick, we're actually going to be talking about none other than Jayden Daniels, and this one is for 221.5 pass yards, and this one also is for more. Now looking at Jayden Daniels, we actually have seen him do a fantastic job over the last couple of games, as we have seen him go on the over in 4 out of the last 5. Now, I do also need to make a preface that some of these games are actually from last season, but just to go through all of them, January 19th, faced off against Detroit, had 299 pass yards there. January 27th, faced off against Philly, had 255 pass yards. Then against the Giants, had 233 pass yards on September 8th. And then Green Bay had 200 pass yards on September 12th. And then 231 pass yards against LA on actually October 6th. So as I mentioned before, 3 out of those 5 are actually from this season, and we also do know that, when it comes to Jayden Daniels' average over the last 5, it's also 243.6. So significantly above this line. Now, coming into this matchup, it's definitely going to be an exciting one, but we do also know when it comes to Jayden Daniels, we do know that Washington have themselves a very, very good matchup against none other than Chicago Bears. So it is definitely going to be an exciting matchup between Commanders and Bears. Now, there is only 2 games on for today for NFL, so some of the picks definitely may have some overlap, but looking at this matchup, we do also know, looking at both first, the rankings of both of these teams, we do know Commanders have gotten off to a pretty good start because they find themselves second in the NFC East with a record of 3 wins and 2 losses. So that's a 60% win percentage from them, 2-0 from home, 1-2 from away, and are currently on a 1-game win streak. And on top of that, they face off against none other than Chicago Bears, where Chicago Bears actually find themselves in the last spot or 4th in the NFC North. Now they have 2 wins, 2 losses. That's a 50% win percentage. And on top of that are 1-1 from home, 1-1 from away, and are currently on a 2-game win streak. So because of that, we do very much like actually this situation here for someone like Jayden Daniels, because what we also do see when it comes to Chicago Bears, they actually do a very, very poor job at actually restricting pass yards to the quarterback position. So we are expecting someone like Jayden Daniels to be able to take advantage of it. Although Jayden Daniels has at times, as we have seen, as 3 of those 5 games recently have actually just been from this season. He did go under 1 out of the 3, but we definitely still see someone like Jayden Daniels being able to go on the over in this situation here. Now, when it comes to Commanders, especially pass yards wise, we do actually see them rank in the top 10. So that's definitely enough for us to be able to like the over for this situation for someone like Jayden Daniels coming into this game. So Jayden Daniels, 221.5 pass yards for more, I think is a fantastic pick. Now getting to the next one, we're actually going to be talking about Olamide, but this one, guys, is actually for a goblin pick, and this one is for 1.5 receptions, and this one actually is for more. Now, as I mentioned, there is only 2 NFL games, so guys, I do want to give you the best picks possible, and I think Olamide for 1.5 receptions, even though it is a goblin, it is still one of the best picks out there, as it does make it a bit tough to find, multiple picks, as there is only 2 games. But just to give you a quick rundown on this one, obviously we do know the Chicago and Washington actual matchup here. We actually have seen Olamide be able to go over on this line in 5 out of the last 5 games, which I think is fantastic to see. But on top of anything else, what we also do like about this pick is that when we actually look at the matchup Commanders and Bears, Commanders actually do a very, very poor job at actually, defending the receptions just in general. So for that reason, we are definitely expecting someone like Olamide to get not just a lot of volume, but should definitely have enough volume to be able to go on the over for this one. So for that reason, definitely keep an eye out for the over for someone like Olamide. Now, when we actually look at a team like Bears so far this season, we actually have seen them rank in the top half when it comes to receptions, but a big reason why we do like the over is not just due to the fact that it is a goblin pick, but we have seen Olamide as well, just in general, be able to beat this line so consistently and so effortlessly. So we definitely see him being able to do the same here. So for that reason, Olamide Zaccheaus for 1.5 receptions for more, I think is a fantastic pick.